are against it, how can that be fair? Can you answer that?
Probably that many people come up and said it was for him. We was the only 3 people in the whole town that was against him. We'd probably say, hey, okay, that's who you want.
We got to.
I don't think I got that many.
Again, I stand by what I stated earlier. We've agreed with the attorneys that they're going to talk about this, and I feel like please let's let the attorneys do this, and let's table all comments, about this situation till the next meeting, please.
So why wouldn't you post them an agenda to avoid situations like this, is what I was stating earlier. These people wouldn't be here trying to voice their opinion if they knew that they weren't going to get heard tonight. So, well, can you take that word? I mean, that's just hearsay, right? Around the streets?
All you had to do was ask David. He knew it was funny.
Well, sure. Is everybody supposed to go ask him what the agenda is tonight? Or they should come or not?
We made the agreement that we wouldn't speak about it.
I know, I'm addressing another matter. Do you not think that putting an agenda for it would prevent this matter?
I'm not going to do that for a stated meeting, only for the special meetings.
Can you give me a reason why? Why do you think it would not be a good idea?
Rod, let me comment about that a minute. And I've represented several towns here in the city of Sullivan. The city of Sullivan does have an agenda. It's a bare outline. I think the commissioners use one too. State law, as best I recollect, John may know more, you don't have to post an agenda if you don't elect to do so. If you do, then you're supposed to put it on the wall, and you should list what you're going to be speaking about. But things will come up off the agenda that need to be discussed, and you don't always have to be stuck with a rigid agenda. So you need some flexibility. But most of the little towns, I've represented Farmersburg and Carlisle, Highmere, Ascot, whatever. But most of those little towns don't have an agenda. If they do, they don't have anything on. It's just usually just a formality to even post an agenda because it's routine. Most town boards have 5 or 10 people show up. In my town, Shelburne, I've been to a lot of them. I know John Bodine has too. So agendas are optional, and I understand why tonight you thought an agenda would have been very helpful. But this has only come up once in my 35 years. I know with this particular situation, so it's a rare situation. But so it's optional if the town wants to post an agenda. But if they don't want to, they certainly don't have to. But if something comes up that's controversial, it usually gets hashed out before final action is taken. It's not some behind the scenes or an action that's taken arbitrarily. So it's just an optional thing if you want to post an agenda.
So none of your men would give me a reason why you don't want to post an agenda?
You don't have to. I'm not going to.
You don't have to. I mean,
I'm not going to.
Can I make a comment on that?
Don't want to argue. Okay.
One thing, I do like the flexibility of a small town where when something does come up, now this has been a pretty major event, but I like the flexibility of being able to come in and if something comes up, being able to talk about issues that come up. I mean, someone may have an issue come up that we wasn't aware of, so it's kind of nice having that kind of flexibility to come in, and if someone has a problem to come in and talk about something like that, and instead of being on a strict, rigid agenda. So that to me that's kind of nice, not having just a rigid thing like that. So
if we could forget to put it on there, you couldn't talk about it.
Rigid. It's just kind of
just an open guideline.
You can add things in and out depending on what's going on for that meeting.
To me, that seems like it's keeping people from knowing what's going on that would like to be here or potentially can't be here.
This would be pertinent to put on an agenda.
I mean, the whole thing was canceling the meeting. I mean, how was anybody to know that the last meeting was canceled?
It was in the paper.
It was in the paper, what, the night before?
I don't, huh? Yeah.
Night before?
Well,
yeah.
we didn't find out about it until,
yeah.
I didn't find out that the building was being used.
You wouldn't check the next day.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Well, what,
I
think I came in the next day or so and they was told.
John, do you have a comment?
Just take a second. Just as a common courtesy, why was not this meeting tonight not moved? Everybody knew how many people was
Well, because it was going to be a stated meeting. We didn't. This is not a special meeting.
Yeah, but you knew there was going to be this many people here. I mean, it wouldn't have took nothing to move it. These people hear, they can't hear what's going on.
Well, one reason is because they just got the floors waxed out there.
Well, we pay to have them waxed, so I think we should be able to use them.
When it's dry.
So how long does it take to dry?
Well, we give it 2 or 3 days to make sure it was dry hard.
Regarding the cancellation of the meeting last time, the one at the community center, I called specifically to find out if I hadn't called, and I don't know what the Sullivan Times or my counterpart did, if I hadn't called, would there have been any notice in the paper to anyone?
What's that?
Did you intend to let the papers know it was going to be canceled?
Oh, yes.
So the night before I called, was there a reason the papers?
I thought it'd been done. Because it was, I told him in here we was going to have to cancel it.
Who was elected to call the paper to tell them?
One of the clerks or
I didn't know anything
maybe
about
her. Carolyn. Carolyn was the one that told me about it, that it had been rented. Whoa, hold on. I didn't know it had been rented.
Do you not see this as trying to keep the community out of this?
No,
That's
not
what
at
it
all.
seems to us. I mean,
Not at all. There's only so much we can do. We're going by what the Lord tells us, and we're going to follow that program. We're not going to budge from it, because then they come back at us again, you didn't follow it. When they get done with their meetings, we'll follow their directions, and that's what we'll do. Now, I know there's some things that people we'd like to say or we can't say. We won't do it until they tell us when we can. And that's when we'll do it. Now, next Thursday, we'll probably know. And I'd like to do it tomorrow or the next day or whatever. But we, after that last meeting, I basically told these gentlemen and those gentlemen, let's sit down and think about this for a week or two before we do it again. I don't want any snap judgment here. Everything that we talked about, let's take our time and think about it. We'll set the meeting up for the 16th, give you time to think about it. Get all that out of you that you might have and make a good judgment, one or the other. And that's the reason it was done that way. And I thought that was fair to David, fair to everybody here, us. That you don't make meetings set up when your adrenaline's up. Be calm and do it right. And so that's what we did.
Mr. Nielsen,
Yes.
I do agree with the board. I think everybody in here does agree with the board that you should probably set up a protocol for this meeting.
Yes.
That each person only gets to comment one time.
Yes.
They can't keep repeating back around.
No.
They get like 3 to 5 minutes, whatever you
And
decide.
that'll be it.
And they're done.
Yeah.
So that this doesn't go on and on
Yeah.
and on and on. Everybody has plenty of time to think about what they want to say.
Right.
And so
I agree with you.
I just hope you set some sort of protocol
We'll
like
probably better plan on doing something like that. You're very right. You're very right. Typically, this has not happened because there's never been, well, like I said, 20 years haven't been this many people sitting in this room. So that wasn't considered.
That tells you something right there.
Hang on a minute.
I don't really know about this, but I'm a treasurer of our club, and I have to give a treasurer's report every month.
Yes.
I have to put down deposits, and I have to put down what we spend on it.
Sure.
And I was wondering why we don't do that. Why you don't do that?
We can. It's never.
Pretty lengthy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a pretty lengthy report, what we've seen here. Probably take her 15 minutes to do that, I guess. I don't know. It's quite a bit. Or longer.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Larry.
Yeah.
We don't know what comes in. We don't know what goes out.
Don't get into it.
I wouldn't get in. Well, it is something what you're saying. We do the same thing.
It's about a 4-page report that would take way too much time to
Some people put it in the paper, don't they?
I don't think we put that in the paper.
So you did say earlier, it is something that's open that she.
It's open. Yes, it is. If you want to come in the daytime with the treasurer, she can make that available to you.
that would take way too much time to
Some people put it in the paper, don't they?
I don't think we put that in the paper.
So you did say earlier, it is something that's open that she.
It's open. Yes, it is. If you want to come in the daytime with the treasurer, she can make that available to you to look at and read it. I mean, that's not an issue. Come in and do it. That's why she's the treasurer.
I think your treasurer's report, I know the Northeast School Corporation, they used to put out their annual report of every expenditure they have for the whole year. Is that what you're talking about, or are you talking about a monthly one? I think a monthly when you're asking her too much.
I think so, okay, maybe an annual report.
She has that available. Come in and look at it.
It's not something that's secret.
It's
so
here. It's not a secret.
you can
Come in and
it.
see her.
It
And
would take
you
a
can.
very long time.
I'm sure she'll open the book up and say, "Here's what you're looking for."
Dollar to dollar, so.
No.
Just before the meeting, we looked at our monthly expenditures and approved those. So, you know, it's something we do every month, and we go over that. So,
Then does she print it out and give it to you to go over?
Yes, we just
Here's all
looked
the
at it.
claims. They get a book with every claim that's made for the month for each account.
And then they go through
This
the
shows the bill that was received, the check that was written, and there's a paper that they look at that has every single claim that was made for the whole month, and they have to sign it saying that they approve it.
So maybe that's something you could just print up and have available at the monthly meetings if anybody wants to.
I could have it available, yeah. They could look at it.
Yeah, people could look at it.
Sure.
The approval of claims happen before the regular meeting?
'Cause you have to do it
Go through
anyway.
that outside the regular meeting?
yeah.
No, they just did it.
We just did it.
Just did it.
We just did it here.
It's just an extra copyright. It's not extra work. You would just have to make.
It's just copy.
Yeah.
It's in the meeting.
It's in the meetings. Yeah. I don't have anything else right now. Right now, we will inform you.
I have something.
Can I speak?
Yes.
This isn't about Duggar Dave, it's about Duggar Dog. I want to bring up the dogs and Duggar.
Yeah. We've heard about that.
Anyway, while we got everybody here, I appreciate it. And there is a boxer dog and a little pug been running around and it's killing cats in the neighborhood.
I've heard about that.
Anyway, if anyone knows who has those dogs or sees them, if they could maybe help get to the rightful owner, if there is one, to maybe get them contained.
Yeah.
It's going to take more than one person.
Does it have a collar on it? Tags? Anything?
Is it white, okay?
Do I?
The boxer white.
No, a boxer's normal boxer, tan, white legs, and it looks pretty much full-blooded. And the pug, I call it a pug. It's like little broad shoulders.
Jogging around 3rd, 4th Street, someone over there.
Well, around the park, Rick Street, all around town. And I'm not against dogs running through my yard or around, but when they're killing animals.
Might ask Dave if he's seen it. I've not seen him. You know, that doesn't mean that I have.
One, but you might want to look into some kind of something about maybe someone can help with finding numbers. That's all I'm asking. I
took a total of 5 Humane Society in less than the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I've been able to catch.
Yeah.
I think the yeah.
You've been out after him.
I did talk to Dave one day. I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago. I knew they took one, but this one has been seen 3 or 4 days Sunday. These have been seen Sunday again. That they're heading around the park, Rick Street, all around.
Okay.
I don't want to have a shot. I just prefer to find it all.
Yeah.
Anything you can do to help?
Well, okay.
Comments, concerns?
No further business there.
I have some.
Yeah.